Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, people there already. Wow. Good morning, Tina. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday. Good evening, Nikki. Good morning, Kerry and Emily from sunny Glenelly. It's a bit grey here in Hampshire and a bit damp, but nice and frosty and cold. And the squirrel's already been out there collecting his breakfast for the morning. Good morning, Diane. Good morning, Maharet. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, we've got an Eric here. All right, handsome boy. That's that black darkness blob there is Eric under his blanket. Good morning, Claire. Good morning, Jane. Wow, lots of people here already. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Friday, end of November. Yes, my decorations will be going up tomorrow because, festive season and all that. There will be Christmas jumpers on a Friday morning for the next few weeks. I have a Christmas cup. Thank you. Delivered by Winnie. Did you make the tea? Did you make the tea? Did you make the cup of tea? Did you? Clever girl. Don't tell your mummy and daddy that you put the kettle on, will you?
Okay, Grandma.
It's very talented. It's always good to have small minions to make a cup of tea. Good morning, Christine. Good morning, Monique. Mine are going up Sunday. Yes, I'll start getting them out of the loft tomorrow, and then they'll go up. Good morning, Sylvia. Good morning, Susan. Good morning, good morning. So let's start with big thank yous to everyone that I saw at Witchfest last weekend. Myself and the girls met up with lots of lovely people. Lots of students came up and said hello. Lots of friends we hadn't seen for a while came up and said hello. It was brilliant. Thank you so much for joining me for my talk. It was a fab event, new venue, nice venue. Yeah, very good. Had a laugh, had lots of fun. Mm-hmm. It kind of prompted the subject for this week, combined with last week's talk. So last week we ended up talking a lot about salt last week, which is quite protective. And then we spent all day at Witchfest. There were a lot of people. And I must admit, I came home with quite a headache from all of the energies, I think. And so I thought, you know what, let's talk about protection. Let's talk about protection magic. So that's today's subject. Do you work with protection magic? How do you work with protection magic? Is there anything specific you do or anything particular that you use? That's the subject for today. As always, chuck your comments in the comments and we'll see where it takes us. We will be having more festive chats throughout December. On the 19th, it will be a special Waffling Witches with myself, Ness and Heather talking about Yule and Winter Solstice and how we work it with Christmas. We've also got a winter ritual and workshop open to everyone, free to all this Saturday. Tomorrow, yes, 29th of November. 6 p.m. start on our usual channels. We're going to do a Kelech ritual, but we'll talk about the Kelech and winter solstice stuff and do some spell crafting too. Details are all in the Kitchen Witch Coven Facebook page in the event. There you go. Where are we at? Good morning, Jalala. Good morning, Janet. Good morning, Emily. It was very lovely to meet you too. Thank you for joining us at the talk. It was, always a bit of a blast. Good morning, Emma. Good morning, Steve. Yes, good to catch up with you at Witchfest as well. Good morning, David. Pray for the gods to help me. Oh, we're looking after the girls' nephews. They've already peed against the outside meditation altar, peed into the bird bath. Oh no, torn up the living room carpet. They're only been here for 20 minutes and we haven't till Monday. No. I would point out they are dogs, not human beings. That sounds like a lot of chaos. Good luck with that, David. Love them there, yeah. Dogs generally better than people, present company accepted, of course. Good morning, Cliff. David knows of no protecting that would help him at the moment. Maybe we can come up with some inspiration for you, David. Good morning, Katie. Good morning, Maria. Lovely to see you at Witchfest too. Hello to all from Enfield and to Winnie. It was lovely to meet you the other day. You too, Nicola. You too. It was brilliant. It was lovely to catch up with lots of people who hadn't seen for ages, but also lovely to meet new people. So brilliant. Thank you for coming up and saying hello. Right, let's get some of these up. Always have bottles of black salt by the entrances. Carry John the Conqueror root in pocket for personal protection. Interesting. Black salt, brilliant. Salt by the entrances, brilliant. Interesting John the Conqueror root. I do have some. I don't tend to buy it now, though, because it has to come. It's not native to the UK. It generally has to come from abroad. So I don't tend to work with that. But it's a powerful ingredient. Very powerful. Definitely good for protection, also good for prosperity. There you go. So yeah, how do you work? I will admit, I kind of forgot to put my shields up last weekend. So yeah, that's probably partly my fault as well. I think your personal shield is probably the easiest, the most straightforward, possibly one of the most important protection things as well. I have low-level shields up most of the time, particularly when I am in a people-y situation. I should have reinforced them. Not because of any negative energies, just because of overwhelming energies. With all of those magical folk there and lots of people as well, and all of the energies from products as well. Products. I finally found my dragon crystal. He is amazing. So big thanks to Angela at Phoenix Flames. He is amazing. But that's, aside. Maria says, your talk was great, but keep off the Mars bars. I had a coffee and a Mars bar before I did my talk. A little bit hyper. Emma, I love to go to Witchfest one day, got to beat agoraphobia. It's very peoply, very, very peoply. It was quite overwhelming by the end of the day. But, one of those things. I think they are going to start doing more online stuff, Emma, so do have a look out for that. Christine, David threw lots of tiny treats in the garden, send them off searching. Used to do it in the house too, kept my dogs busy for ages, but not good for bare feet. David is very, very experienced with dogs, Christine. That is what he does for a living. So, yeah, I'm sure he's got a handle on it. I look forward to the photographs. Dogs love them. Camilla, good morning. Received your new book yesterday. So excited to read it. Thank you very much. Thank you. David, apparently we are too much fun. They haven't even touched their breakfast. Yeah, far too much going on. Susan, there were 2 dragons on their stall. You bought one too. They had some lovely, lovely stuff. Yeah, they did. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Definitely a shout out for Phoenix Flames. They do sell online as well. They have an amazing range of crystals. Their incense blends are fabulous. Their herbal tea blends, I know how much I don't like herbal tea. Their herbal teas are really good as well. They're also very good we get a lot of their raw herbal products from them that we make our incenses with us too. Very, very helpful. Just good all-round fabulousness. Maria, like your Hogswatch card. Yes, I have 2 actually. I have this one. This was a Hogswatch card from Eric. Didn't know he could write. And then this one with all the wizards was from Pete. We like a Hog's Watch card. And for anyone that doesn't know, that's Discworld related. Read the books. That's an order. Christine, been to Witchfest long time ago, too many people. It was very, very busy. Loved the talks and stalls. It was the last Witchfest. They will not be running Witchfest again, but they will be doing other things. So do keep an eye out on their social media pages for their next things. Maria bought the BBG spray, Bitch Be Gone spray. It's amazing. Definitely need some of that. Katie, White Cat Otto, perfect White Witch companion. Cats are very, very drawn to magic. Very drawn to magic. David, I have a few wards and charms around the house and a guardian to protect the house, so the home is in a safe place for people. On myself, I wear a hagstone and a charm around my neck, mostly because they look cool, which helps. You always do look cool, David, always. So it's working. Hagstones, I mean, they are brilliant for protection. Absolutely. I mean, originally they were used to protect against witches. Oh, the irony. But fantastic for protection magic. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Sylvia, there's lots of people testing. Is it doing something funky? Let me know and I'll see if I can do something. Probably not, but I'll try. Sylvia, for me, protection depends on how my physical state is in mind and body. When I'm on top of the world, I believe nothing can touch me, and standard protection is enough. When I feel sensitive, I put on an extra layer, yes. Doing paranormal investigations, it's hard to get that fine line of protection, though. It is either too much and a dull night, or too little and not having 1 minute rest and my senses on full tilt. Yes, I think particularly if you are dealing with the spirit world, you need to have that level so that they can come through, but so that you've still got your protection in place, so that you're in control. And I think that's generally when you're working magic or outside of any kind. You want, oh, sleepy baby. You want just that right level so that the negative stuff doesn't get in, but you can still connect with things. It's a fine balance. It is a fine balance with the shielding. Sephora needs some protection from YouTube. It's changed her chat name. Oh, now there's spooky. David, oddly, dogs are great magic protectors. The spirit of dogs is perfect. They pick up and challenge with unmatched bravery. Yes, I mean, this little thing here is my guardian, my protector. So that makes sense. They are very protective, absolutely. Maria, am I supposed to do something before I spray it, apart from taking the lid off? Okay, bitch be gone spray. Intent. Add your intent with it as well. It's very good for actually releasing anxiety. So if that's your idea for it, charge it with just releasing, letting go of anxiety, and then spray it. If you want to get rid of someone, put that intent in there as well. Like working with any magical spell or any smudging or anything like that, give it your intent first before you spray it. It's good stuff. Monique, I have amethyst crystals in the four corners of the house for protection. Crystals in the home are really, really good. Corners are good. Centre of the home is good. I like to put them on windowsills as well. Yeah, it's all good. Good morning, Alison. Christine. Hagstones in all windows at the front of the house. Chimes and bells galore. Did have a mirror, but it fell to bits. Thankfully, none of the glass broke. Phew, no 7 years bad luck. I've actually got a jar of broken mirror pieces that I use for magical spell working. If you do break a mirror, there are things you can do. You can take a piece of it and bury it. That will break the bad luck. I keep the broken pieces and I use them in return to sender spells or protection spells or anything that requires reflection of any kind. They work brilliantly. Good morning, Iris. Tina's YouTube's being a bit weird. There's nothing new there, I guess. Jalala. I made a hanging thingy. That's my magical description too. Totem is a word that's used quite often incorrectly for animal spirit guides. Totem has quite a different meaning. I would say if it's for protection, you're looking at charm, amulet. Yeah, charm would be my go-to because that's kind of a coverall to hang in my chicken coop. Okay. Has eggshells, feathers, black tourmaline, bottle of black salt, bones, lemons, and deco with a fox on it. Aha. Okay. Grabbed from Naomi Cormac. Beautiful artwork. Feel it incredibly powerful and it's there to keep my chickens safe from Monsieur Renard. Yes, I could see where you were going with that. Yes, foxes are lovely. We have a lot here, even on the edge of the city. But if they find a chicken coop and they get in, they literally go mad. It's devastating. They don't kill for food, they kill for just the total pleasure of it. That's the reality of it. So having protection for your chooks, brilliant idea. Brilliant idea. Love the sound of that charm. That sounds brilliant. Sephora, I had a lovely friend bring me a box of hagstones for a birthday present. I'm now fortified except for YouTube updates. Okay. YouTube's obviously being a little bit challenging today. Diane, my dog is the biggest coward. I'm his personal protection. If I start doing magic, he legs it. I think we're into the space here where not all pets are going to be familiars. You'll know if they are or not. If they want to be a part of the magic, they will come and join. If they don't, yeah, that's, animal choice. Emily, usually I ask Archangel Michael to create a protective bubble around me. Always found that very powerful and reassuring. The archangels, very, very powerful. Not anything I do. I don't work with archangels, but very powerful. I do work with a personal shield. I have my bubble that comes into place. I am obviously a nerd, so mine comes into place by me hearing William T. Riker's voice in my head going, shields up, red alert. And then there's a whoosh sound as the shield comes into place. I'm really nerdy. It's just how I roll. Jane, maybe we could use two kinds of protection at the same time. General one that lets spirit in, but with filters out the really bad stuff. And ad hoc we can pull out like a weapon when we're suddenly faced with something, like calling the shots and telling an entity they don't have permission to attack. Yes, I mean I've done a lot of spirit work over the years. I've never really found anything very malicious. I think some of the spirits are just get a bit overexcited about coming through. But it is very, very wise to have those protections in place and know that you're in control of it. But I think filters is a good word there, Jane. It is about putting that intent in your shield of what you want to let through and what you don't. Absolutely. Good morning, probably good afternoon, Lucky Fairy. Sephora, a cardboard cutout dog. I like it. Good morning, Louise. Lucky Fairy. I use sigils and black salt for protection. Sigils are brilliant. Sigils and symbols. You can draw them on your walls just with your finger, not literally draw them on your walls. Although you could paint them on the back of pictures and then hang your picture up with the sigil facing the wall. That would work very well. But you can draw sigils literally with your finger on the wall to provide protection for your house. It's boundaries as well, isn't it? So we did mention salt last week. Sprinkling whole circles of salt on your land is not a brilliant idea because it's very bad for the soil. But you can do it in small amounts. Particularly, we mentioned black hot foot powder last week as well, which is pepper and chilies and salt mixed together. That's very good. But I think it's about thinking about the different types. So there is from absorbing all of the energies around you, particularly when you're in groups with lots of people. There is protection of your home, your boundaries, there's protection in your car, just all sorts of different things. And protection comes into play. I'm thinking about the most suitable thing for that. situation. So spell bag in the car for protection when you're out driving, brilliant. Personal protection is your shield, but it could be wearing a pendant, carrying a crystal with you, carrying a spell pouch with you, all with protective energies. Your house, probably one of the easiest ones, crystals in the corners or on the windowsills, sprinkling of salt or salt water around. I had someone come up actually and ask me a question at the weekend about protection in a classroom. And I think we came up with the idea that salt water was probably the best idea because crystals get pilfered. But salt water sprinkled in the corners of your office space or a classroom, somewhere like that, would bring in protection. Crystals probably quite a good idea if you are in an office or something like that because they just look pretty, but they're actually doing a job. It is about thinking about how these things work and how you can put them into play in the situation that you need them for. Lucky Fairy's dog's a coward too. Eric's brave unless it's a carrier bag or something. Christine, cats love magic. They do. Dogs kind of look at you as if to say, oh, here we go again. Yeah, pretty much. Eric is my Velcro dog. It doesn't matter where I go around the house, he is with me. So kind of, he's there whatever I'm doing. Emily, maybe this time of year you could incorporate holly in protection spells. Yes, holly is brilliant. It's spiky. Actually, the holly leaves are very weird. If you get a tree that is Jane, find putting up my protective bubble makes me feel empowered. Yes, simply because I'm the only one who knows it's there. Yes, there's a blog post on my blog, I think it's called Shields Up, something like that, which goes through the basics of putting up a bubble shield. It is really, really useful. Could be a bubble, could be a cloak, could be a suit of armour, could be just a shield, literal shield. It's got to be what works for you, but very, very good. Kerry, if you have to break a mirror for protection purposes, if you need a few bits, make sure your reflection's not in it when you break it. Yes, very, very wise. I've never purposely broken a mirror for spell work, but I have had one break and thought, I'm keeping that. So I buried a piece in the garden to break the curse and kept the pieces. But yes, very wise words, Kerry. Tina, what's the best way to do protection spell over a new crafting project? Again, I guess it's whatever suits the intent. If you're working in a particular space, I might make a room spray. Then you can spray it in your crafting room or wherever you do your work, or spray it on the table or the bench that you're going to do the work on. Put in some essential oils that bring protection with them. You could have a crystal on the desk where you're working to bring in protection. You could visualize too. I mean, visualization, free, cheap, completely free, easy to work with. Do a whole clearing, cleansing, negative energy visualization on all of your crafting materials and bring in protection when you've done that as well. That would work too. It's a lot of it's about intent, but it's also about what works in that situation. Hi, Bella. I made a small bottle with a cork stopper, which is filled with rice, salt, garlic powder, rosemary, and onyx chips.
You're right there.
Yeah. And sigil tape to the bottle. Charge for protection placed in the windows. Nice. I always have a couple of witch bottles in the house. And those are there to absorb negative energy, to fill the house with positive energy, but to provide protection as well. Yeah, brilliant. Bottle magic, brilliant. Diane, I have a spell pouch hanging in one of the front windows with a small mirror, herbs and crystals pointing outwards. It's against the energy and trouble from a specific person in the village. Yes, that would work brilliantly. And of course, I have a broomstick in the porch that's upside down, bristles up, protects against unwanted people. Lucky fairy. Usually keep my salt in a bowl and then regularly throw it out. Yeah, I think it's wise as well to remember, particularly like where I have the witch bottles in the house. I do renew them regularly. You kind of get a feeling that they need to be redone, so I ditch all of the contents, cleanse the bottle, and start again. Yeah, things do they will need recharging or redoing occasionally. Louise, is there a deity for protection other than the house spirits of the house? That, I guess, is who you work with. There are a lot of deities that will provide protection for you. I'm not sure you'd ever get a deity to kind of sit there on your doorstep protecting you 24/7. But there are a lot of deities that you can call on for protection. But it would be who you work with. You can't randomly call on some deity you've never worked with and ask them to protect you. You would need to build up a relationship with them. I don't know. Does anyone here work with deities specifically for protection? I'm kind of thinking, Hecate and that kind of. I don't. I mean, I work with the Kayla generally anyway, and she's a feisty old bin, and no one's going to mess with her. But I don't really call on her for protection. So does anybody work with any deity specifically for protection? I do have my fire dragon who protects the house. He's always here, kind of sitting on the roof, just keeping an eye on stuff. Diane. Also got a spell bottle buried on the front boundary of the property. Boundaries they are your protection. They lend themselves to protection magic because they are the boundaries of your property, the boundaries of your home, your personal boundaries. So that's a good place to work with protection energy for sure. Jane, we're going off subject. That's okay. It's us. This is not totally on subject, but I bought a slice of agate from Freya's cauldron with 4 Sven sleep thorns engraved on it and put it under my pillow. Sort of protects me from lack of sleep. Yeah, I guess it's a way of looking at the word protection, isn't it? Do you think protection, so you immediately go to, right, I need my shields up, I need my property protected? But yes, protecting against lack of sleep. My son suffered from nightmares when he was younger, so we made him a witch bottle and a spell pouch to protect him against nightmares. So yeah, that's another form of protection, absolutely. Sephora, have obsidian buried at 4 corners of our property as part of the bubble. Crystals, again, I think it's personal choice, but I would definitely go with obsidian. In fact, I would go with any of the black stones, any of the dark stones for protection. I have a list in the Candle Magic book. Let's bring them up. Crystals. So I've got agate, amethyst, black obsidian, bloodstone, carnelian, hematite, labradorite, a pebble, pyrite, quartz, selenite, sunstone, tiger's eye, tourmaline, and turquoise as my list of crystals that generally come under the protection idea, but it has to work for you. For me, it probably would be something like black obsidian. Black I associate with protection. In fact, that takes me to colours. Again, in the Candle Magic book, there's whole lists of stuff in there. Black would be my go-to colour for protection, but I think white works as well because it's kind of a blank canvas for everything. Blue I would work with for spiritual protection. So psychic protection, I'd go blue, possibly purple. Brown I think is a good one for protecting the home because brown to me is the hearth and heart of the home. Red, perhaps more for protection against emotions, against anger, that kind of thing. And I think silver works quite well for protection as well with its reflective properties. But again, it has to work for you. Nicola, I have a black dog. He's very protective. When I'm doing any magic, he's there guarding. Brilliant. We should all have dogs. Dogs are good. Steve, I use some dragon's blood spray. I got wild witchcraft. Yeah, dragon's blood, brilliant, brilliant for protection. Obviously not real dragon's blood, it's from a plant, but dragon's blood resin, dragon's blood essential oil, dragon's blood incense, all really, really strong protection, absolutely. Sephora. Eric's brave because in his mind he's a Doberman. Yes. Small dog with a Napoleon complex, for sure. Jane, I have a blind spot mirror from Halford stuck to a door frame so it faces the front door to bounce back any negative energy that walks up to the door. Nice idea. Very nice idea. Mirror magic is a whole subject in itself. There's a huge long history of mirror magic. But I think from a reflecting negative energy protection point of view, mirrors work really, really well. Oh, Emma, am I freezing? Are you watching on? Oh, you're on YouTube, so it should be all right. Maybe it's because it's cold. Maybe it's because YouTube's doing its updates. Louise, since a child, I had been drawn to using Angel Michael to protect me, but I wondered what other people did. I don't work with the archangels. I think you'll find a lot of witches don't generally work with the angels. Is it perhaps because of the Christian component to it? It shouldn't be, because the archangels in particular are much, much older than Christianity. I think it's one of those things that it either works for you or it doesn't. As a hedge kitchen witch, I will work with herbs, with essential oils, with sigils, with crystals. And when I say crystals, probably just a stone or pebble, hagstone would be my go-to for protection. But all sorts of things like the conkers, horse chestnuts. I keep the spiky outside of those. They work really well placed around the house for protection. All sorts of herbs and things work. Anything with thorns. So boundary of your house, you could put rose thorns, blackthorn, anything that's got that spine. We've got a pyracantha growing at the end of our garden. Brilliant for protection magic because it's got really sharp spikes on it. I'm looking at my other screen here. I'm not ignoring you. So I've got herbs and oils that I work with, particularly for protection. Bay is a really good one. Black pepper, benzoin for a resin. Smells lovely as well. Blackthorn. But things like cardamom, chilies are really, really good for protection. Powerful fiery energy, as is cinnamon, very fiery energy. Cloves as well. Cloves very, very good for protecting against gossip in particular. Cumin, dragon's blood we mentioned. Ginger, because it's another fiery one. Hawthorn, because it's spiky. Lavender, funnily enough, works quite well as a protective one, more along the lines of emotions and psychic stuff. Lemon, I think a lot of the citrus ones, because they've got that sharpness to them, are very good for protection. Mint, I think any of those ones that have got that strong scent to them. Mustard, because it's fiery. Nutmeg, very good. Patchouli, pine's really good for protection as well. Rose, because of the thorns. Rosemary, because of the scent. Sage is really good for clearing, cleansing negative energy. Salt, obviously. Star anise, because it's got that scent again. Witch hazel and yarrow, all really, really good for protection, and ones that I tend to use, but it has to work for you. Absolutely has to work for you. Oh, I think YouTube's messing about. It needs an update, apparently. Just to be really annoying. I'm having all sorts of issues with technology at the moment. Nicola, when I'm on a motorway, I put angels around my car, put car in a protective bubble, and I draw a pentagram over my car. I think when you're traveling in the car, spell pouches are good. You can just hang them in the middle, with your air freshener in the car. But visualization works really well, particularly if when my children used to go out the door to school, I would visualize a protective bubble around them. Both my children carried crystals with them in their blazer pockets going to school for protection, ones that they picked for themselves. I've still got the little pouches that they had with the crystals in, and that they sit with Ganesha now to still keep them protected. But you can visualize protection. When Pete goes off to his gigs, I visualize protection around the van that he drives for it. It's visualization works really, really well. And whether you visualize protective bubble or reflective shields or whatever you visualize, it works. But it has to work for you. And pentagram, brilliant. It is protection. It brings together all of the elements and it forms protection. So visualizing that or drawing that on something will bring in protection as well. We got here Sylvia. For me, when I'm preparing for a spell, like doing homework for Herb, etc., with one of your many books, I already start protecting it layer by layer, and those layers will be a big one, plus the standard protection when doing the spell. Never did that on purpose, but realised through the years I was doing that without conscious intent. Layers is a big thing for me. Whatever spell I am working, I think you should charge the ingredients individually as you add them to it. Lots of people and I've seen it, videos and stuff on the internet, they'll make a jar spell and they'll chuck all the stuff in and then hold it in their hands and charge it afterwards, which is fine. But I think if you're going to the effort of particularly specifically putting all those things in, charge them individually. Every ingredient has a multitude of magical purposes. Sometimes it might be a bit confused as to why it's there. So if you charge it and give it instructions, you have to be bossy and tell your ingredient what you want it to do.
Not like you.
Not like me at all, no. Mm-hmm. It's adding layers to your spell working. Rather than just doing a one thing at the end, you're adding all those layers by telling each individual ingredient what you need it to do. So yeah, that works for me. It might not work for you. Maria, Hestia, yes. Diane says here, Hestia, goddess of the home. Hestia or Vesta, brilliant for protecting the home because they are goddesses of the hearth and home. That would work brilliantly, yes. Maria, my doofer doll. But I've been ignoring them lately, which isn't good. So yeah, poppets. Very, very good for protection too. You can make a little poppet, keep it as a keyring, or pop it in your handbag, or put it in your pocket. You could have poppets by your front door, made specifically with the intent of protection. That would work brilliantly. Emma, I do ask the Morrigan to watch over me, protect me throughout the day, but I also don't panic if she runs off. They're busy, deities are busy. But yes, another perfect one for bringing in protection. Christine once tried using a concoction to distract cats from using the garden as its toilet. It had pickle vinegar in it. People kept walking by and sneezing. Smelled like a chip shop. I have been through most of the protecting your garden against cats things. Yeah, orange peel, chili powder. Don't think I've tried vinegar. Nothing seems to work, does it?
There was one out there a second ago.
Yeah, you need to get a dog, but he needs to be out there all the time. Diane, as far as stones are concerned, black tourmaline. Yeah, I think that's a good black tourmaline, black obsidian, both brilliant. Emily, have asked all my main deities for protection at various times, but my main go-to would be Isis. Nice. For extreme cases, I've also had help from Sobek. When I read that quickly, I thought they said Spock. See, I really am a nerd. Spock would protect you. Don't work with him often, but he has stepped in. Yeah, sometimes we need that bit of backup, don't we? Yes, absolutely. Including Spock. Kerry, I've got 2 witch bottles buried deep under the floors of my house. I wish when we had the renovation done that we'd put something under the floors. That it was such chaos I didn't think about it, but I wished we'd put some witch bottles under there. That would have been brilliant. Under the floors of my house, and another buried deep in the walls behind the fireplace. A fireplace is really, really good for protection magic. If you've got a fireplace, it is the heart and hearth of the home. So if you put a witch bottle or a spell pouch in the fireplace in your home. Obviously we don't use it. If you burn it, then it's going to get burnt, which is fine. You just replace it, not the witch bowl, because that would explode. But if you have a non-working fireplace, it's very good for protection spells. Maria says tried pickled eggs. Pete likes pickled eggs. I think they're nasty. Jane, I bought a bag of black pebbles from a garden shop once. Could use those instead of crystals. That would work brilliantly. Yes, I know the ones you mean, the little round glass pebbles. Brilliant. Diane, mirror magic, a subject for another Friday morning chat. Yes, it is a huge subject. Huge subject. I think YouTube does seem to be freezing. I think YouTube, it needs an update or something, judging by what's kind of happening. Maria has questions. You can always message me, Maria. Diane, grow roses at the corners of the property. Yes, anything that's spiky, roses or pyracantha or something that has spikes to it, definitely. Nice, Tina. Cactus, good for protection around the home. Yes, I've got a whole windowsill full of them. They are spiky. Some of them seriously spiky. So yes, absolutely. They're naturally protective because that's what the spikes are for. But if you charge them with the intent of protecting your home, put them in a windowsill, brilliant, perfect. Sylvia, I used ashes made in jewellery from my cat. Oh, okay. Also for protection when going out the house. Aside of the comfort it gives, it also gives a feeling of knowing she loved me so much and would make sure no harm would come to me. I'm about to get my bracelets of both of my cats together, and the last cat that crossed over was my familiar, so it will be even more protective then to me. I've seen those. That's a very, very clever idea. Dragons are amazing at protecting and clearing space. Dragons are very, very useful for all sorts of things, as long as you don't boss them around and if they feel like it.
Shoot out the window.
In my experience, you can't demand a dragon do anything really. But it's like deity as well. You've got to build a relationship with them, and then they tend to be more helpful. Kerry, I've worn a hagstone and a pentagram around my neck for years. Both very, very protective. Perhaps we forget about the pentagram because we're so used to seeing it. Pentagram, pentacle, one's without the circle, one's with the circle. Both very protective. Both bring all of the elements together. I think perhaps we forget because we're so used to seeing it. But it is a brilliant protective symbol. Absolutely. Facebook's not much better. Yeah, I think some people earlier on were saying that YouTube needs an update, so I think that might be what it is. I'm hoping that's what it is. It's technology. It's just not fun. Lucky Fairy. Love drawing a pentagram on me with rose shower oil during a bath. Yeah, let's not forget about protective bodies. Charging your shower gel or your moisturizer or your perfume with protection before you put it on your body, and then you're pretty much putting a shield skin on. That sounds really gross, but you are. It's layers again. Charge your shower gel with protection when you shower, then charge your moisturizer with protection and put that on afterwards. Then wear black clothing or dark clothing or something that you associate with protection. That's another layer. Charge that as well. Wear a pendant with black tourmaline or whatever it might be. Add that as well. You're adding layers of protective energy. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. My husband will appreciate this one. Steve keeps hagstones in his car to protect him from BMWs with no indicators.
And Audis.
And Audis. Yes. Or you could just throw them out the window at them. I didn't tell you to do that. Katie, pentagram made with cinnamon sticks to hang in the home. Cinnamon, it's got that. I mean, cinnamon is my go-to for success. I also use it quite a lot in love or happiness type spells, but it's got fire energy, so it works very well for protection as well. Debbie, Debbie, lion dung is supposed to keep cats away. Not sure where you'd source it. Yeah. You could ask at your local zoo, I guess.
Yeah, it's a lion.
But yes, it is, because the cat family, aren't they? But they're a much bigger cat family, so it's supposed to put the cats off. I would imagine it would put most people off, except the flies. Louise, imagine white feathers on the car or someone's I want to protect. I also use a lot of incense and herbs. I have a small bay tree in the garden. Bay, brilliant. Bay is really, really good for negative energy, particularly. Yes, absolutely. Jane, in some cultures and places, people paint symbols on the walls of their homes inside and out for protection. Well, there are hex signs, which are used as protection. And some of those beautiful. Round, tend to be round, painted, brightly painted. They're very good for protection. In the Santeria type cultures, where they draw veves for their spirits, their lowers, a lot of those have protection in them as well. Yeah, it's making it work for you, really. Jane, garden, shop, work glass pebbles. Oh, just black pebbles. Oh, perfect. Because I associate black with protection. If you don't, then it's not going to work for you. Because I work a lot with colour magic, black for me is the go-to protection colour. Lucky Fairy. Also love burning incense with the intention of protection throughout the home. Yep, visualise a powerful shield around my home as I do it. If you do work with smoke for cleansing, then clearing your house of negative energy, remember to add the protection in and the positive energy as well. Once you've cleared your house of negative energy, there's a void. So remember when you are doing that to fill it with protection and positive energy as well. So the incense works perfectly for that. Dragons be no pets. Feel unhinged today. Yeah, dragon magic is a whole other thing. There is a talk on dragon magic on my YouTube channel. Yeah, you don't mess with dragons and you do not order them around for sure. Iris, cactus.
Write a book about dragons.
I did write a book about dragons. Do love a dragon. Cactus. Oh, you just saved the life of those at my window. I was thinking about sorting them out because drawing the curtains a bit of a problem. Yes. Now I'll give them the protection job. Yeah, brilliant for protection. They are made for it with those spikes. Yes, absolutely. Emma's just run off for a delivery. Got myself a fairy lamp. What did I miss? No, not much. Nice. YouTube. Yeah, come on, technology, stop it. Sigils. Hi, Zara. Sigils. What sigils are good for tattoos? Again, it has to work for you. It has to be what you work with and what resonates with you. It's no good having a tattoo done of a protective sigil if it doesn't mean anything to you or it's from a culture that you don't associate with. I have got some. I have got pentagrams. I have got Tree of Life. I've got some Norse protective symbols as well because that means something to me. I would say pentagram's got to be one of the most general protection symbols accepted by all sorts, but it has to be something that works for you. You could design your own sigil for protection and then have that put on as a tattoo. That would work brilliantly. But it depends what deities you work with, what pathway you work with. Has to mean something for you. But I think if you're looking for something personal, then I would design my own sigil for it. I don't know, has anyone got any protective tattoos? Let us know. Christine, tried everything to deter the cats. The only thing that works is slate. Oh, okay. Got a lovely plum-coloured slate spread all over the garden. Interesting. Oh, there you go. Might have to try that. Thank you for that. Yeah, it's an ongoing battle. Lucky Fairy. Also use camphor for protection. Yes. Guess it comes from its anti-mosquito properties. Rainy season is a time when I use it a lot specifically. It's a strong scent, isn't it? It is that definitely clear your sinuses kind of thing. So for me, that works brilliantly for protection. Called in my water dragons to protect my local lake when I saw a horrible family throwing acorns at ducks. I would have called in more than that. Man was big, the dragons are bigger. Yes. Yeah, I would probably have called in more than protection, but there you go. Symbols work. So think about symbols as well. A circle is a protection. The circle, whether you put it as part of the pentacle, circle when we have ritual, circle, you might do a circle for protection while you're doing spell work. So the circle symbol is very protective. It is a boundary, so it works brilliantly. An X, just the cross. Cross is always like on the no entry sign type thing. Very, very protective. Horseshoe. Horseshoe brings luck, but it's also protection as well. Protective eye. The Eye of Ra. It's used in lots of cultures. Greek and Turkey as well have the protective eye symbol as well. So I think the eye, all seeing, all knowing, protection is a very good one as well. A wheel, I kind of think of, again, it's a circle, so that brings in the protection as well. And key, because a key not only unlocks a door, but it locks it as well. So that can provide protection as well. So symbols, just straightforward symbols, very good for protection. Whether you draw them on things, whether you carve them into candles, draw them on a petition slip to put into your spell pouches, symbols, very, very strong for protection. If you work with the runes or the Ogham, you can use the symbols for that. They're just squiggles to me, but they work for. There are specific ones of those for protection. I'm reading the things from my Candle Magic book. So numbers 2 or 6 are both very protective numbers. For working protection magic, if you're looking at moon phases, new, waxing, full, because you're bringing in protection. If you're working with the sun phases, mid-morning to high noon, again, because you're bringing in protection. Days of the week that are very good for working protection spells would be Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. All 4 of those have protection energy, so they're good days to work protection spells. If you work with planets, Jupiter and the moon are both very good for protection energy. If you work with the zodiac, Aries is very good for protection. Pisces is good for banishing. Tarot cards, the Empress, the Emperor, both brilliant for protection energies. And I think for me, the element would be fire. It's an element I work with particularly. So yeah, I would bring that in. Definitely. Let's get some of these. Christine just had a thought. Is the cat attracted to magic works and they feel they are protecting the house by pooping in the garden? I think they're just being annoying. I love all animals. I do not like cats pooping in my garden. Sylvia, a friend channeled a dragon and made it for me with a huge unicorn crystal. She got very ill, and a few days before her passing over, I had placed the dragon in my bedroom overseeing me. At that moment, I had no clue why, but went with it until I got the message she had passed. It was to comfort me and to prepare me for losing. It's still on the same place and will not move for years, I feel. That is perfect. Not perfect, she passed, obviously, but a perfect story. Thank you for sharing that. Katie, surname is Nix, which is interesting, as I certainly am not water spirit, although I am Cancerian. I think that zodiac signs, I'm a Scorpio, but I'm not a water element. I am definitely a fire element. Remember that it's not just the moon sign, sun sign you were born under. The moon sign comes into it as well. There's all other sorts of things at play there. Maria, I draw hearts often with a circle around it as a protector. Nice. Tina, I have the Eye of Ra and the Eye of Horus on a pentacle tattoo. Brilliant. Louise, does anyone call on spirit guides, ancestors? Spirit guides and ancestors, 2 different things. Spirit guides, when I'm working with spirit, I do have a guide. Not always, but sometimes. Ancestors I work with all the time because I work with the spirit of place. So I work with the spirit of place wherever I am, whether I am at home or whether I'm out somewhere else. I work with the spirit place, which often involves ancestors of that land. So two different things, but they can provide protection for you, absolutely. Zara. Well, Zara does. Do when I know I'm going somewhere I'm safe or I'm aware of something shifting. I also do in my home, speak to both. It's connections. It is connections. And I think making that connection to all those different levels of spirits of place, ancestors, spirit guides, all different things is important. But your spirit guides and the spirit's place can provide you with protection too as well. I always connect with the spirit place to let them know why I'm there, what I'm doing, just to make sure it's, I'm just here doing this or that, or just so that they don't get a bit antsy. Good morning, Angela. I think it's a huge subject. It is a huge subject. Jane says, one of your ancestors can be a spirit guide. Yes, absolutely. They are not always one and the same. They are often different things. But yes, your ancestors can also be your spirit guide. Absolutely. That's a whole big old subject with all different layers to it. But protection is as well. The other thing I think are extras. So I use nails. I showed you last week the iron nails that I have on my altar. They are very good for protection. Iron's good for protection. Nails are because they are sharp. So nails and thorns I work with a lot for protection. Very symbolic. Push them into your candles. Add them to your witch bottle. I've always got nails in my witch bottles. Metal nails, not fingernails. That's a whole other subject. It is what represents protection to you. For me, it is sharp things. It is spiky things, thorns, nails, anything like that. For me, will work as protection, but it has to work for you. But there's so many different options: herbs, oils, sigils, symbols, visualization. It's a huge subject. There are some blog posts on my blog about protection as well. There's loads of information in the Candle Magic book as well, because Candle Magic is kind of my go-to, really. I think it's about working with, as always, what works for you. Definitely. So stay safe, everyone. Do please join us tomorrow if you are free for the Kelech ritual. And
what time's that?
6 o'clock on the 29th of November on the usual places. Do please join us for that. There's other stuff. I don't know what other stuff there is.
It's Christmas.
It's Christmas, yes. So we'll be back next week in my first...
Winnie says bye.
First Christmas...
Hello, Grandma.
Hello. In my first Christmas jumper of this season. And then on the 19th, we do have the Waffling Witches Yule special as well. So thank you, everyone. Work with your protection. And I will see you all again next week. Thanks, everyone. Take care.